like when you're in work and you're a long time and you feel like you want to get out. That's what I think.
You get free money from your past work experience and you just get to do whatever you want.
Yeah, it seems fun because you get to go on vacation a lot.
Like rest, kind of do chores around the house or like take a vacation to get as far away as you want from the kids.
All the people that, you maybe went to work and said, looks like I gotta deal with them again.
Retirement is when you think, I've done my part, and you say to your job manager, goodbye, so long, try to find someone else that's better than me.
Whenever you say, I'm too old for this, and then you sit at home and yell at the computer screen.
Retirement is when you just don't understand why they don't make the buttons on the remote bigger. You don't understand why all these young whippersnappers drive so fast, and your back hurts every time you bend over to feed your dog, and you started getting interested in getting more and more cats, and you said, dang, I'm really sick of all these people at work, and you just want to go travel the world and be by yourself and buy all these clothes for your grandchildren and just have more fun with your life. You don't have to worry about all the ignorance that you used to work with, and you can just go travel the world.
Mostly, you just lay in bed all day and watch TV pretty much for the rest of your life.
It's when you get too old for your job and you go to a retirement home.
You're probably over the age of 60, maybe even 50.
I've never actually seen a retirement home.
Sometimes you can't do certain stuff because you're too old.
Like some old people don't know how to do handstands because they're so old.
You might break a hip or something.
Well, one thing that I would do, I would just keep looking for dragon eggs and eat tacos.
I'll just eat tacos.
Hey, we did the same thing.
I figured since I made Mike Pirano's 67 retirement videos, I should make Steve at least one. And anyway, we're really good friends. Well, kind of good friends. Well, it's more like a love-hate kind of relationship because I love to put his picture and his head on posters and make him do funny videos, and well, he hates it. Now, pretty much everyone here at Providence St. Mary Medical Center knows Steve, the CEO.
Oh, Steve, he's so great.
Oh yeah, Steve, he's a great guy.
Is he the guy that hobbles down the hall?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's a cool guy.
But none of us know the real Steve. I mean, where did he come from? How did he get here in Walla Walla? What kind of music do you think he listens to?
Avenged Sevenfold.
Maybe? Or...
T-Swizzle. I mean Taylor Swift. I'm sorry, that's just what he calls her.
That's funny. I tried to find old pictures of Steve growing up, but this is the only one I could get a hold of. So instead I'm going to draw his life, because it's going to be just as accurate. Steve was born on November 18th, 1955 in Ann Arbor, Michigan. He was ginormous. Sorry, Steve's mom. He had two younger brothers, and apparently they got along pretty good. He went to Monte Vista Elementary School in Monterey, and miraculously, I found his first grade teacher, Mrs. Duncan.
Oh yes, Steve, a delightful boy. There's always that one student a teacher remembers, and with me, that was Steve. So charming, so smart, so athletic. Everyone loved him. And that blonde hair and blue eyes, he was darling.
I don't think Steve ever had blonde hair and blue eyes. I think he always had brown hair. Are you sure you're thinking of Steve Burdick?
Oh, Steve Burdick? I was thinking of Steve Brown. Steve Burdick. Oh yes, he ate crayons.
He attended Walter Colton Junior High, where he wore bell-bottoms and had feathered hair. He then moved on to a Catholic school for 9th grade and switched over to Carmel High School for 10th through 12th grade, where he wore bell-bottoms and had feathered hair. He graduated from high school in 1973, packed up his things, and headed off to Willamette University. That is where things got really interesting.
After high school, Steve had one of the most successful athletic careers in the history of Willamette University. In football, he led the team in sacks and was the only player named Defensive Player of the Year 9 years in a row, even though he graduated after a measly 6 years. He appeared on the cover of Sports Illustrated and Feathered Hair Weekly. In one of his most famous plays during an exciting game, Steve made a key touchdown preventing tackle at the goal line, stopping Stanford quarterback John Elway as he sprinted towards the goal. Steve also played on several other Willamette varsity teams, including baseball, golf, horseshoes, karate, croquet, ribbon dancing. This is the biggest bunch of bull I've ever read.
I just made up a little of it.
Or most of it.
I want people to see how super cool he was.
Uh-huh.
I'm helping.
Whatever.
After college, Steve rewrote the laws of nature. Although scientists today are comfortable with Steve's ideas, in his time, they were completely revolutionary. Most people did not even begin to understand them. Even though he was a bit shabby and a bit difficult to understand, in 1915, he rocked the world with his theory of relativity. He became famous literally overnight and was awarded the Nobel Prize for Physics in 1921. He has written over 300 scientific papers during his lifetime. Andy, this is completely false.
I know.
Steve didn't do any of this.
I know, but people never check the details on these kind of things, and it's his last video.
But people will know because we're being recorded on camera.
Well, geez, Hall, I'm not going to leave it on the video. I'm not that dumb.
Steve originally planned to study as a lawyer. He abandoned his plans instead to pursue his hobby of building computers in his garage with his friend who was also named Steve. The two Steves worked well together until they had an argument over what to call their first computer. Steve Burdick wanted to call it a peach because it really was a very peachy computer. Unfortunately, Steve Jobs won out with that stupid name Apple. Disappointed with the name choice, Steve Burdick left Apple to pursue his other talent, programming computers. Steve then worked with Paul Allen and started Microsoft. We all know that Microsoft has been a very big success. Seems about right to me.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I know. I was surprised too. I didn't even know he did those things. And we haven't even got to the exciting part of his life yet, healthcare. Steve started working for Providence 35 years ago in Aberdeen and then Toppenish as a financial wizard. Then up the ladder he went as he moved and took over the reins at Providence Centralia. And then, lucky for us, he crossed over the mountains and settled in Walla Walla. If you ask him about what he did when he worked here, he'll probably make light of everything and say he mostly played golf and ate crayons. But when I asked people, every single person said his work here was nothing short of impressive. Steve was instrumental in the Cadillac affiliation with Providence. He suggested to Mike Butler that Providence approach Cadillac to see if they had any interest. Mike asked Steve to have the initial conversation with Rand Wardman, and the rest is history. Steve is passionate about mental health care in the community. He advocated fiercely for the health center at Lincoln High School and was able to bring in comprehensive mental health to improve access to services in our community, all of which has helped immensely. Our employee satisfaction scores also improved when he came. He truly is concerned for each of our caregivers and wants the best for them. When it comes to taking care of his employees, he has a very soft heart. He built a new state-of-the-art ICU. Well, he didn't build it, but he was instrumental in getting the funding approved. Our Joint Commission scores improved significantly when he was here, and he was always striving to be the best in the system. For the first time ever, we received the Walla Walla Chamber's Business of the Year Award in 2016. Under Steve's leadership, we launched the PCI program. I did not know what that was, so I had to ask, and it's when someone comes in with a clogged heart and we put a balloon-like stent in their blood vessels and get it all working again. Hall Grimes says it's like medical Drano. So really, when you look at all that, there's only one way to summarize it. Well, so now's the time I have to decide how I'm going to end this video. And it's always the hard part. I'm going to have to listen to a lot of goodbye songs.
I will remember you. Baby, bye, bye, bye. I don't really want to make it tough. Goodbye to the ones we love. Say goodbye to the ones that we lost. in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. Some make the best of this fast and don't ask why. It's not a question, but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. So take the photographs and still frames in your mind, hanging on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos of memories and dead skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life.
What I'm going to do after I retire? Well, I'm going to get a metal detector and I'm going to hang around the park searching for lost coins and rings.